Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You're watching Nub's Collection, a YouTube series dedicated to the cataloging and review of every game in my physical media collection. As always, I am your host, Victory Nub, and today we are looking at World Heroes. Originally developed and published by Alpha Denshi, later known as ADK, for the Neo Geo MVS arcade cabinets, and released on July 28th of 1992. This is the Super Nintendo version of the game, which was developed and published by Sunsoft, as you can see on the screen there, and released in the US in September of 1993. If you've never heard of Alpha Denshi, or ADK, you probably aren't alone. ADK made a name for itself, releasing games almost exclusively on SNK-developed hardware, and arcade cabinets in particular. That said, this will not be the first game that we have ever played on this channel that was developed by ADK. In fact, they were the developer behind one of my favorite Sega Master System games, Time Soldiers. The game that we are looking at today, World Heroes, was ADK's first game in the fighting game genre, and was, of course, developed in response to the massive blockbuster success of Street Fighter II. World Heroes was enough of a success to warrant a sequel that was released less than a year after this game. The controls are mostly identical to your standard fighting game fare. There are separate weak and strong punches and kicks. And actually in the controls, as we'll see in a couple of minutes here, you can actually specify between a single button for all of your punches and a single button for all your kicks, or separate buttons for those functions. There are special moves involving directional inputs on the D-pad or control stick, like a quarter circle, half circle, and charging by pressing in one direction for 2 seconds and then the other direction. And holding, the biggest control shakeup in this particular game is a dedicated throw button, allowing players to control which direction to initiate a grappling move. World Heroes also introduced a couple of staple moves that would be used in other fighting games. In particular, there are two ninja characters, and I think you saw one of them on the screen there, the gentleman in the blue gi. Hanzo and Fuma have the ability to double jump without bouncing off a wall. So while, yes, Chun-Li and Vega as characters that you could control had the ability to jump off of a wall, in this case, Hanzo and Fuma can do it without contact with anything. They can just do it in midair. And then the character Rasputin has the unique ability to launch projectiles in midair. He does not have to be on the ground in order to execute. And finally, World Heroes added a secondary ladder mode called Deathmatch, where players compete against the other fighters like normal. However, the arena that they're fighting in is filled with objects and hazards that can damage both players. Story-wise, the game follows a scientist who wants to find the strongest fighter of all time, and he has a time-traveling machine to do so. The fighters are essentially pulled from various times and places in world history, including a Mongolian emperor, two ninjas, a Bruce Lee knockoff, Joan of Arc, Rasputin, an American pro wrestler, and a suspiciously nondescript German officer that was originally a Nazi cyborg in design. And it's small wonder that the character was basically altered, neutered for release on a Nintendo console. I'll be perfectly honest, I have played very little of this game. I mean, maybe a handful of times after I originally got it, and I've owned the game for nearly 30 years or maybe a little bit less than that. The reason for that is tied to one specific character, Rasputin. As with most games, the standard combat tends to follow, just your regular fighting moves without special combos and stuff. It tends to follow a simple rock, paper, scissors loop of defense related to positional attacks. A standard or high block will defend against overhead attacks like jump kicks, but won't stop a low attack. A low block can stop high and low attacks, but not an overhead or jump kick type attack. And there is usually no blocking in midair. That's not always the case in all fighting games, but a properly timed high attack can often interrupt an overhead attack. These fundamentals, plus the ability to counter blocking with a throw or doing chip damage to a character that's blocking, is how you balance the defensive capabilities in a fighting game so that someone can't just turtle after getting a single hit and manage to never lose a fight. And then one of my friends from high school found the exploit in World Heroes. Rasputin is a Dulcim-style character where he can make his hands and feet much larger. He just kind of projects energy versions of his limbs. And his crouched punch attack has a large enough hitbox that it counts as a high attack. So if you're crouching and someone tries to jump kick you, you basically just do one heavy punch attack and you can knock them out of the air. In addition, because it is a low attack, you can dodge projectiles that are overhead or block them. And if you hit projectiles, as I recall, with his crouched punch attack, he takes no chip damage. In other words, Rasputin could hit an enemy one time and then turtle and outlast any opponent until the timer runs out. Unfortunately, my friend became so good at this strategy that I gave up playing the game. It was very frustrating. I still have no idea why they allowed this to happen in a fighting game. There should never be one character that has an unbeatable stance or strategy after, doing one hit. Chip damage should be a thing no matter who's blocking or what they are blocking. It is what it is. Unfortunately, this game came out at a time when, if it was in arcades, maybe a patch was available, but more likely you were playing it either on a cartridge or a disc, a CD, and there were no patches. That didn't really become a thing until the 360 and PS3 era of video games. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this game started. I am going to do the standard mode, and then we will take a quick look at the deathmatch mode. I'm going to leave the difficulty same. We will do game time. This is where you control which buttons you can assign to attacks. Again, one button. Basically, the way this works is if you leave it set for one button, you just tap the Y or B button to do a light punch or light kick, and you hold it to do a heavy. Which, it works, but I'm playing on a Super Nintendo controller, so let's just use the full range of button set we have available. Again, there's a dedicated throw button, so you basically just walk up to an enemy and tap R, and the nice thing about that is you can control where you're throwing them. If you want to throw them behind you, you can grab and then hold back on the D-pad to throw them behind you, and if you want to throw them forwards, you just hold. If it's not neutral, you can hold forward to throw them. Yes, and then I want to change the strong buttons to Y and B. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. You came at a good time. Use the time machine to go all over the world, where the strong people are. I'm praying for a healthy battle. He does not look like he's praying for a healthy anything. He looks like he wants to kill you. So here is the jerk that caused so much consternation over the years. Again, these are characters that are based on, people from world history, or at least some of them are. I don't know what German officer was supposed to be. I don't know who that guy is. He doesn't look like a Hulk Hogan type. That would probably be one of the Khan family. I don't know if it was supposed to be Genghis Khan, but there's Joan of Arc, there's your Bruce Lee knockoff, and then these are two Ryu and Ken style copycat characters that basically do the same thing. All right, so we'll play as Rasputin to show exactly what I was talking about. This is the ladder match that has all the weird stuff in the ring. Again, we'll just take a quick look at it, but we're going to do normal mode first just to get a feel for the character. All right, so I am going to fight... I don't know who I'm fighting. Oh, I'm fighting the J. Karn. Genghis Khan. All right, so all you got to do after you do that is this right here. Hit him out of midair. See, it's not impossible to get a hit, but man, it is really hard once he gets in this position. Get out of here. So it feels really cheap, right? And he does have fireballs, and I don't know if he had any other cool moves. I guess we can find out. You can do his little Russian dance, Cossack dance. And then, as I said before, he has the, if I can get it right, ability to, oh, come on. There we go. Air ball, air fireball. But yeah, this character broke the game for me when I found out how easy it was to cheese your enemies. I guess it depends on the height. Yeah, I think you have to be at the top of your jump in order to... Oh, he's getting angry at me. Look at those feet. Big old feet. It really does feel unfair that his hands and feet basically are so much bigger. I guess you could say the same about Dalsim, but I mean, if you're a good fighter, you could probably find a way to exploit it, because I think you could hit his limbs while they were extended, just not the hands or the feet, and damage Dalsim, and I don't think there's any window of that type for Rasputin. Alright, here's one of the two Ryu and Ken knockoffs. I'm guessing this is supposed to be Ryu. Ryu? I always say it wrong. And hopefully we'll get to see him do his double jump. Oh, let's try... see, there is a tiny bit of chip damage in standard mode. There's his dragon kick. Come on, dude. Seriously? It's the best you got? This is so cheap. Uh-oh. He does not like what I've been doing. Oh, he flew through it. Oh, what? And it's over. Did Bert just crash into me, explode? No, he didn't. All right. I saw dust coming up off the ground. They're dive bombing us. Run! Although they are some incredibly brave. I think that the trade-off here is that his fireballs are incredibly slow. Like, he takes some time to charge up that attack. But I hit my throw first, you jerk. I know he's got another attack, I just don't know what it is. Trying to do it, but I have no idea what the button presses are going to be. Oh, there it was. I got it. So he does like a spinning move. There's this move right there. Oh. There is also attacks just like Chun-Li and Honda's really fast button pressing attacks. I don't know who exactly can do them, but... Alright, now I'm gonna cheese you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get out of here. Oh, look at him. Pinky's out. He's being very dainty. Also, his eyeballs disappeared from his face. You lack maturity, my son. Nya nya. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, so of course, if you have a fighting game, you have to have some interstitial where you break something and turn it into either garbage or a statue, I guess. Why did they think this was something they needed to put into arcade fighting games? Like, what was that adding to your value for the experience? Oh, look how quick I can jam on one button. Who cares? You know, it would be upsetting how many fighting games tried to do like a Bruce Lee style character, but to be perfectly honest, Bruce Lee was awesome. I mean, that was like one of your standard additions to a 90s arcade fighting game, was you had to have at some point a Bruce Lee knockoff. Street Fighter was no different. They had their Fei Long character. You ever played Tekken? Of course, there is it Law? I think it's Law. No, it's not Law. There's another character. I'm blanking on the name. That's basically just a Bruce Lee knockoff. And of course, Mortal Kombat's Liu Kang is basically just Bruce Lee, but with a couple extra moves. Come, do this. Do the thing. No. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is a long time attack. Gotcha. I think everyone has at least 2 attacks, not more than that. Or, well, maybe 3 attacks, but I think everyone has at least 2 that they can do. Just, I love his main attack is just push them away. Get away from me. Eh. So apparently if you beat up Bruce Lee, his wounded face is just he's got a runny nose. Okay. And here is your Zangief knockoff, Muscle Power. I guess they're trying to make him like Hulk Hogan, but maybe not exactly. Uh-oh. Ow! Hold him down. Uh-oh. Ah, there's the spinning pile driver move. Again, you can't have a Zangief knockoff without some kind of incredible spin move. See ya. I'm not 100%, but I think this might be the arena they use for the death match or final match, whatever they call it. Basically, it's like one arena that gets used for all of the fights, and it looks like, you know, just kind of a big... I recall it being a ring and having, like, explosives and electric fields and weird stuff like that. We can't make it to the final boss, so be it. We're really not worried about whether or not I can beat the standard single-player mode for this. Ow. Man, those, oh, that killed me. Wow. Good job, M-Power. Those fireball attacks with Rasputin are painfully slow. He gave me his number 1! Ow. Oh, damn it! Oh, I didn't lose, did I? No, I didn't. But I am going to start cheesing him. Uh-oh, he beat me. No! Well, I think if they let me continue, they give me a chance to switch. We'll swap it up to someone else. Okay, so let's do the Joan of Arc character. Oh, do I have to start the whole thing over? Oh, that would suck. Maybe I don't. So this is the only character in the game that gets an actual weapon as part of their fighting set. Not that it makes a huge difference. She's much faster, which is nice. Oh! Alright, so she has a sliding attack, I guess. Unless I did it wrong. Come on. Oh. See if I do a charge attack. There we go. Yep. So she has a fireball that you press back for 2 seconds and then forward. Uh-oh. I'm dead. God, that move is tough. I thought he got me again with that. Ah! He closed his range so fast! Oh, I thought he got me again with that move, that one move. Gotcha. I suppose I could pull up some moves real quick while it's loading the next fight. Or try. Oh. Pause! Alright, so Jeanne d'Arc. Her special is, both charge attacks. So one of them is a down and up attack. So this is like the Guile, or, the Guile character, basically. I'm smacking you! That's her, Sonic, not Sonic Boom, but the Flash, whatever the kick is. I'm blanking on the name. I love that she smacks people. Oh, right underneath it. Damn, he keeps jumping over my... Number one! He's going number one on me. Oh, you dick! Don't kill me that easy! Get out of there. The irony of the Joan of Arc character here is they say that she's a master of fencing, and then they give her a sword that you would absolutely not fence with. Alright, so here's your Nazi soldier character. Oh, but they didn't make the uniform gray and black, so it can't be a Nazi. Come on, that's a simple palette swap. Oh! Gotcha. Oh. Oh! He kind of plays like M. Bison, kind of. Oh, I just pogoed off of him with the sword. That was cool. Done. Oh! Dang it. Nice counter. I love that. I love that she has a pogo move. Gotta do it again. Oh! It's almost over. Got him. Oh, that's just rude. Call me Goddess Jen? I don't think Joan of Arc ever thought of herself as a god. And now we're fighting the Ken ripoff. I guess imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but man, they could have come up with some different ideas than just, hey, let's reskin all the characters from Street Fighter 2. Oh, nice. He even plays exactly the same as the Ryu version. That's how little they cared about making them different. Damn it! I was hoping to get him with that sword swing. Flash sword is what they call the move in the instructions here. Nope. Oh, it doesn't hit him. I really don't like that there's no counter to that. I guess, except blocking. Damn it. Ow! Done. It was intentional to do those two throws at the end. You can do throws just like you do in standard fighting games, where if you just get close enough to hit an enemy with a punch attack, you usually do a throw. But yeah, they made it so that you could intentionally guide where you were putting the enemy if you wanted to put them on another side of the screen. Get out of here. I'm gonna get hit. Oh, maybe not. Damn, I should stop doing that. I know it's gonna happen. Sounds like he's saying Zapruder. Gotcha. Bye-bye. I think that was everyone. So I should be going into the final fight, assuming I don't have to do the full gauntlet of enemies after losing one time. So this is their final boss coming up, who is basically I want to say it's a Shang Tsung ripoff, where he can copy any enemy. I guess we'll find out in a second here. This is lame. You just do the same garbage you were doing the first time. There we go. Oh, I never fought Rasputin. Okay, well, we have to fight Rasputin now. Watch, he'll do the same garbage where he'll just duck in a corner and use his hand to do everything. Oh. Oh, that hit him! Screw you, game. Oh, the fight ended with a draw, or technically I won. Ran out of time. It was a sound defensive battle. Oh, come on. I keep trying for my flash sword move, and I'm not getting the timing on it right. Nope, not close enough. Gotcha. Keep away. Ain't gonna keep you safe, buddy. Oh! Done. Oh, what? What was that? That was garbage. I win. 2 timeouts, but I still beat him. He's a very slow character. But I guess that's why he has the big range for all of his attacks, his heavy attacks. If you do a standard attack, it doesn't have range. You have done well. You were suitable to be the strongest in history. Without further ado, let's begin the awards ceremony. What? Wahaha, my name is Gigas, the strongest in the universe. If you don't want the Earth to be smashed, you will fight me. He actually, the scientist actually created this character. Yeah, see, he's Shang Tsung. He just turns into whatever character. Lame, lame, lame. Uh-oh. Oh, crap! How did you grab? I was kicking you! Again, there is no blocking in air. This is not Street Fighter Alpha. I should be taking advantage of when he does that turn, because he takes damage while he's doing that. Oh! Got him. Almost ran out of time there. 2 seconds left. Oh, the T-1000 melted like ice cream. Get in there and do some hits while he's weak. Oh, it's not taking damage. Shoot. Oh! Oh, crap. I'm gonna grab you. There you go, jerk. No! all of the dialogue for the final boss just... Oh, I slid through! Uh-oh. Oh, we're in trouble. This ain't good. I need to get some hits on him. Alright, we're good, we're good, we're good. Done. I win. That's game! There are no bosses after this boss. And now we get to see whatever lame ending they cooked up for the character. Alas, it seems I have no equal among men. Will I ever find my partner in life? My search for a suitable mate continues. A woman's work is never done. Okay. So her way of finding a suitable partner is to kill them? There you go, nub. Alright, so that is your standard mode. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and do a quick peek at the final match, death match, whatever they call it in this game. I think they changed the name because maybe they had a problem with the word death in Nintendo games still at that point in '93. I think these are more of those pseudonym names for the developers because they never wanted people to know what their real name was. It was uncouth to take credit for your work in Japan in the late 80s and early 90s until people got over it and wanted actual credit for what they worked on. Can't skip this though. strangely enough. Not much of an end. You just watch characters beat each other up. That's a little weak. Oh, good. These characters did data. Matuda T666. Hey, that guy gets credit for coming up with something really wild. So there's the arena that I was talking about, that electrified fence area. Again, if anyone touches the fence, they get hurt, including the computer. Those are the people who worked for the American studios that have no problem using the real names. Tad Shimamoto. Hi, everybody. It's Tad. Okay, thank you, Sunsoft, for making a game that I barely played. Sunsoft made some really good games back in the day, but they just kind of disappeared after a while, and I think it's because, of course, it was an SNK company, so, you know, once they had their own system, they decided to develop almost exclusively for that one, and then didn't really do anything else for any other company. Okay, come on. We'll do Dragon, and we will do Fatal Match. Again, I believe this mode just plays like your standard mode, where you just fight enemies through like a normal ladder, but you just happen to be in an arena that has obstacles that can hurt you, like so. And I think Bruce Lee has... There it is. He has the 100-hand slap, basically. Oh! Oh! As well as the dragon kick move. So the big problem with this arena type setup is that you can't do charging attacks necessarily if you're too close to the arena edge, because you'll burn yourself. I think in some of them there are actual objects you can pick up and use as weapons or throw them. It's been a while. No, he grabbed me. I want to do my grab. No air grabs. Not that surprising, but... Uh-oh. I'm in trouble! I'd love to know what they're putting on the ropes to make them stay on fire like that the whole time. I just keep punching him in the balls. Your fighting technique is incredible. Oh, I did a jump off the wall! Cool. Didn't know that was a thing he could do. Oh! If you're not mocking an enemy, you are not Bruce Lee. Oh. Alright, we'll do one more fight just to see a different round or a different arena type, and then we'll go ahead and call it a day. Against Rasputin, which means there's going to be an entire group of Russian nobility surrounding him, ready to shoot him in the back of the skull if their cyanide capsules don't work. Ow! Oh, you're screwed, dude. Oh, I kind of like this character once I start using him a little more. You're done. See ya. And I fried him. I need to find a frozen river to throw his body in. Joan of Arc, get ready to get burned at the stake. Oh, I couldn't figure out why I was sliding around so much. It's those yellow slicks on the ground. So they put those there to kind of push you around the arena a little more. Which is good, because I am rocking Rasputin. Oh, I brutalized him. That was fun. Oh! Every time. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and call it there. I know that the game is still running, and technically we could keep going beyond this, but we'll go ahead and stop here. Just let me... Oh, perfect. All right, stop here. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap things up. We'll do a round of the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is, for the most part, it is a competent fighting game. It has most of the things that should be there for a good, balanced fighting game, with one character exception, of course, being Rasputin. You have your high attacks, low attacks, and overhead attacks, and they are balanced fairly correctly for most of the characters. You have your special attacks that are fairly easy to pull off. I didn't have any trouble doing the ones that were rotational. None of the charge attacks were difficult. I had a little challenge doing the hard punch, where you had to repeatedly press the punch button to do the 100 hand slap version of the move that the Bruce Lee character has, but I could do it with light punches, and it was still very effective that way. They have, a wide variety of characters, although unfortunately they fell into the same trap that a lot of companies that were doing knockoffs did of Street Fighter at that time, where two characters are basically identical, but they have palette swaps. That's stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's better ways to come up with an original character. Don't be Capcom and say, hey, we need two versions of the same damn character, but maybe slightly tweaked in how much damage they do with certain attacks. That's lame. Be better. Don't do that. I do like that they added a different mode for, single player, where instead of just going, world tour and going, arena to arena and fighting enemies in a standard way, you have arenas where the wall on the back of it will hurt you if you get touched. Again, I think there's some where you either get throwable objects or like physical melee objects that you can hit enemies with. I can't remember how far you have to get to see those. I think the last boss is kind of weak, and I guess that would go in the bad, but yeah, I mean, graphically, it's okay. It's not great. Certainly not great for Super Nintendo. I mean, I would say that the character models pale in comparison to Street Fighter, but they're large and they have good enough animation. I didn't see a huge amount of slowdown. I think there was some when characters got hit, but I didn't see a ton of, graphical chug from too much going on the screen at any one time. As far as the bad, again, I don't like when fighting games have two characters that are basically identical in their appearance, their move set. It's just a waste of a character slot when you could have just come up with a unique final character to put in that spot, instead of, hey, we got to be like, Street Fighter and do the same exact character archetypes. And that is a big knock against this game, is that there are too many characters that feel just like rip-offs of Street Fighter 2. Now, you can't avoid that when you have a character that literally all their attacks are just like Guile in Joan of Arc. It was literally hold back and press forward to punch to do the ranged attack, the projectile, like a sonic boom, where she threw out the bird, the fire bird, and then hold down and press up to do her version of the flash kick, which is just swing the sword in an upward arc. She was literally just Guile. So that was kind of lame. And then Ryu and Ken play like Ryu and Ken. They both have a fire uppercut, the Shoryuken. They both have projectile attacks, and they both have a spinning dragon kick type move. So they literally ripped off many characters from Street Fighter 2 and then just reskinned them here in this game. That was not good. The music is terrible. I didn't find a single track in this game, with maybe the exception of the one that plays on the very start screen, the one that kind of loops when you're picking either the first options on the main menu or when you're picking characters. That one is a little bit of an earworm, but it's not terribly complicated. Again, this was a port of a game from, I think, another system. It wasn't even a direct arcade port. This was one that was developed on whatever console version that had come out at that point before it came to the SNES. But they did what they could with what they had available to them, and obviously, games developed exclusively for the Super Nintendo were going to make the most out of that hardware, as opposed to ports where they just did what they could with the assets they had available to them. And that always sucked. Again, the final boss is kind of lame. It's literally just a blob of molten or liquid metal that can turn into all the other characters. That's not terribly creative. Find a character that has either unique moves or a unique manner of control and make them the final character. Don't just have a character that can play as all the other characters. I've already killed all of them. I don't need to fight them again. When Shang Tsung did it, it was lame, but they quickly moved away from Shang Tsung as the final boss in their games and went on to finding unique characters like Shang Tsung or Shao Kahn, who could basically just maul you to death because he was huge. He would knock you across the screen when he hit you, and he had a hammer. It was that was always a wild idea as the final boss. I appreciated that, but man, just Shang Tsung wasn't a fun idea, and I don't think it is any better in this game. As far as the ugly, the end story was pretty weak for the one character we saw, and as far as I recall, they're all really bad. Fighting games never had good stories, at least not early. I mean, they just didn't. It was secondary. You weren't playing the game for a story. You were just playing to, see between you and whoever put in the quarter for player 2 was better at the combat system. So they never put any effort into stories in early fighting games. Now, in present day, I think developers realize that people care about the story that's driving all of this fighting in the first place, which is why Mortal Kombat has gone into overdrive making stories for their games. I mean, they're super complicated, and there's a rich lore that tends to go through all of them that, connects all the threads. And, back here, it was a sentence blurb and an instruction manual setting up the character. You got nothing when you started the game. At the very end, they were like, haha, I beat everyone. Now I'm on to the next adventure. That's not a story. Yeah, the story is absolute dog in this game. Let's go ahead and give the game a score. We do our score in Randars, 1 to 10. It's competent as a fighting game, but it's not terribly inspired. I gotta give this a 6. I mean, it plays fine. It does play a little bit on the slow side. Now, that's compared to, say, Street Fighter, the one that I had, which was the Turbo, the hyper... it is hyper fighting. The one where you can control the game speed and crank it up to insanely fast speeds if you wanted to. But even on standard, I think it plays much faster in this game. This one is a little bit on the slow side. And I think that does affect the fun and playability of the game, is just how much it feels like characters are tiptoeing back and forth against each other. And again, does not feel inspired at all, because, of course, this was kind of made in response to Street Fighter 2, and they had to get something on the market. They had to get it out, as soon as they could. So, originality be damned. If you had to just reskin characters from Street Fighter 2 and then give them new names and maybe palette swap or identity swap characters. So like the Chun-Li character in this, the one female character in this fighting game plays like Guile instead of Chun-Li. And the Bruce Lee character here is the one that plays kind of like Chun-Li, essentially. I mean, that's how much originality they have for the characters. Not to mention the Ryu and Ken ripoffs. They're literally the same damn character. That was obvious what they were ripping off when they did those characters. So yeah, 6 Randars. It's good, but it's absolutely not great. This is meh. just a very mediocre fighting game. No surprise that I didn't go back to it very often. That's going to do it for this episode of Nubs Collection. As always, I do appreciate each of you watching, and I will see you next time.